Welcome to the Rajyoga Meditation Basic Course 8, the Tree of Religions in the context of Rajyoga meditation. On the graphic on the right, we see the simple representation of a tree with seed, the roots, the trunk, and the crown. Imagine this metaphorically. A tiny apple seed contains the program not only for one tree, but also the program for all subsequent trees. This is primarily about the tree of religions. The assignment of the Rajyoga meditation comes at the end. In the Cycle of the Word, chapter 5, we have already spoken of the temporal process. Here they are repeated in the form of a tree. With the meditators under the tree, the confluence age takes place. This is happening now. In the area of the trunk, the first half, we see the golden and silver ages. Here. In the area of the branches, the founders of the religion of the Copper Age are symbolically shown. Above them is the Iron Age, and at the top is the Soul World here. So much for the row division. The individual sections are explained on the next slides. The confluence age now. We see above the heads of God, Father Shiva, the seed of the world tree. In the area of the roots are practitioners of Rajyoga meditation. God teaches people through his medium Brahma. He is assisted by Saraswati. They are later reborn in the Golden Age as Eve, means Lakshmi, and Adam, Narayan, and crowned as the first imperial couple. The persons next to them, predominantly women, are part of the founding foundation. The spirit foundation of creation takes place incognito under the earth, and therefore largely unnoticed by the public. The spiritual purification process is completed with a physical purification process. As within, so without. Except for a few souls, the transition, all then go home to the resting place of the soul world. Golden and Silver Age, Paradise. Neither disharmonic consciousness and behavior nor diseases occur. All those who have absorbed God's knowledge in the confluence age participate in the first half of the cycle. The time of entry into the cycle, as well as the social position in the sense of natural harmonic responsibility, depend on the degree of soul clarification in the confluence age and the resulting radiance. Regardless of this, everyone feels perfectly embedded through the synchronized unified energy field. We will talk about the crown of the tree a little later. Transition souls, also called advanced party souls, are preparing the golden age. Among them will be scientists. They will provide the technical equipment. It's a very high level of technical equipment that is already being developed. Very mature and pure transition souls will give a pure birth to the first new souls arriving from the soul world. Picture on the right. Krishna, the first prince, is born, and in another group, Saraswati, his later wife, is born. One then has a very high consciousness, so that the creation of the golden age is playfully easy, quick, thorough, harmonious, and complete. The picture here on the right side should be painted much more beautiful. It's my simple style of painting. Although there are coronations and thus monarchs, the social system will resemble a harmonious family system. There is no need for a modern form of rule. The purest, most powerful, and most loving are naturally in the center. Their energy is the formative force that is loved by all. All find exactly their ideal social place. With the coronation of Krishna and Saraswati, picture on the right, the golden age, means paradise, officially begins. From now on, they are called Lakshmi and Narayan. Also, this picture should be much more beautiful. The roots, and especially the seed of the tree from the foundation. The roots and especially the seed of the tree form the foundation. The trunk, golden and silver age, symbolizes unity in language, culture, as well as purity and harmony. There is no religion. Religions are search communities. In the time of the tree, we seek nothing, for we have everything in abundance, within as well as without. Full is full like a full glass. If the glass is full, plain full, there is no space anymore. The people of the golden age and somewhat attenuated those of the silver age embody the divine virtues to such an extent that in the second half of the cycle, especially in India, they are worshipped as deities to this day. Former inhabitants of India apparently brought the worship of the gods in a modified form to ancient cultures like the Greece and Romans. Nevertheless, followers of Rajyoga speak of one God. The transitions between the ages are fluid, not immediately noticeable. From the silver age to the copper age, the loss of power also begins slowly. Subtle deficiencies emerge. People and groups slowly move away. Unit is lost. Like this unit is more and more lost. From a certain point of the deficiency, people increasingly try to plug their deficiencies through external things. From a certain point of the deficiency, people increasingly try to plug their deficiencies through external things. With this, body consciousness creeps in, combined with greed, attachment, ego, lust, and anger, until finally there is an abrupt reversal of pure polarity from soul consciousness to body consciousness. Recall the car driver metaphor in the first lesson. The driver the soul now believes he is the car, he is the body, and he has a driver, the soul, a confusion fundamental to the loss of power. That we believe more and more we are the body, like we are the car, but we are the driver, we are the soul, and use a car, use a body as an instrument. The upheaval of consciousness has serious consequences for people, but also for the entire Earth, because as a result, subject Earth is also changing its polarity. Like here, changing the polarity, also the Earth is changing the polarity. The Earth's crust begins to move violently. Large flows split off from the original continent of India. It is sometimes called the original old continent, it's Pangaea called. New continents emerge. With the loss of unity of consciousness and society, geological unity is also lost. The groups that form the ground cells of the historically known cultures of the Egyptians, Sumerians, and so on are found on the detaching flows. The flow movements lead to huge tsunamis, which are mythologically anchored as the flood. The myth of Atlantis is probably also connected with this event. This description can also be called the expulsion from paradise. It's not like Eve gave Adam an apple. It's a tall story. The description can also be called the expulsion from paradise. While the real reason is this changing the consciousness from soul consciousness to body consciousness. But because in the first half is always soul consciousness. This description can also be called the expulsion from paradise. While in paradise we played innocently and carefree like oblivious little children in the sandbox, we now had to completely restructure life and thus eat from the tree of knowledge in order to sustain life. In the first half of the cycle, it was all going by itself. It was very easy. We had we had not to make efforts for nourishment and so on. But in the second half, we had to organize. We had to think about these things. Since the plant food sources we had been used to had temporarily dried up, we began to kill animals and ate their flesh. With the exception of the Indians, most people remained in this habit of eating, but also Indians eat more and more flesh too, I experienced. So the upper picture I explained, you know, the poles are jumping, and the picture down below is anyway clear. It's the Ark of Noah, but it's also a symbol, a metaphorical symbol of this flood. After the unity of the trunk was lost, Hinduism emerged in the middle of the tree. At the sides, the large branches of the other religions emerged. On the left, Abraham, with his instrument Moses, appeared as the forefather of the monotheistic religions. The old covenant was renewed by Christ with his instrument Jesus. And on the Islamic side, Muhammad brought about a renewal. On the right side of the tree, Buddha appeared as the founder of the Buddhist religion. Later, Shankaracharya followed as the founder of the Sannyasin or monk religion, a small group in India, which was important for India. And finally, Guru Nanak with the Sikh religion and small ism and sects joined in. At the very top, the transitional age with Brahma appears again here. And above is the reddish glow of the soul world is once more recognizable. The founders of religion, picture on the left, undoubtedly brought light into the world, but no salvation. Abraham with Moses focused on teaching the spiritual laws, although more extensively than in the form of the 10 Commandments. Buddha taught looking inwards. Buddha taught looking inwards combined with compassion for all living beings. Christ placed love at the center and Mohammed emphasized the incorporeal God. In this way, the founders of the religions emphasized true spiritual aspects, but none of them knew the overall connections of individual and global creation. The picture on the left shows most of the founders of religions from an Indian perspective, with Christ in the middle. Above them is God, the Father of all souls. He found a place in the Christian prayer, Our Father. Finally, the Rajyoga meditation is placed in the context of the religions with the help of simple illustrations. The illustrations actually speak for themselves. The drawing on the left illustrates the principle of the monotheistic religions of Islam, Judaism, and Christianity. They say, look to God, there you will find everything. The picture on the right stands for Buddhism. Buddha says, look within and you will find everything. What's true? That's the question. But very often in spirituality, it's not this or this, is as well as here. Standing in German, sowohl als auch, as well as. The picture in the center shows the concept of Rajyoga meditation. It combines both concepts and says as well as the ER, as here, he means God. In the drawing refers to God. Innerung, here, Innerung, refers to the inner being. The yoga, the spiritual connection with God, is often referred to by God in German translation as Erinnerung. Erinnerung. Look at the picture, at the small picture. Means God, Erinnerung, inside. The divided word contains at the same time he is God and the inside, thus as well as the healed inner states achieved through the remembrance of God. And so in this case, East and West are thus conceptually united. East and West are united. Nevertheless, means also Buddhism and the monotheistic religions. Nevertheless, Rajyoga meditation is not a religion in the sense of the usual worship. Please, God, give me something what I don't have. But in the sense of the original meaning of the word religio, which means reconnection, namely the reconnection with God And with this reconnection, I received the knowledge and the power to reconnect with my pure inner soul core, to reconnect with my pure inner soul core. That is what it is all about. I told it more times, I think. The original Vedic qualities are not away. They are stored, but they are mixed with negative concepts, with beliefs and so on. And to clarify this with God's knowledge and with realization of the pure inner self, is coming more and more up. So a small meditation, please. Just a little bit silence. I am a spiritual being. I'm a soul in the middle of the forehead. I'm looking through my eyes, the windows of the soul. As a soul, it's easy to connect with the supreme soul. From soul to soul, it's the same frequency. Through yoga, the spiritual, emotional connection with the Supreme on the one hand, and meditation to connect with the pure inner self, the original self. The original pure qualities from the starting point, we can reconnect, we can regenerate. Remember the sentence, where attention goes, energy flows. Or energy follows. The more you are looking to your native qualities like peace, love, abundance, joy, happiness, up to super senses joy, which is independent from the influence outside. I can feel more and more these qualities as a real experience in here and now. And the more these qualities, these inner qualities, are coming in resonance with God's qualities, the more we come closer to the same level. In the golden silver age, we live in a deep stage of silence, happiness, joy. All is going easy. very high level of life quality. We have no suffering. In the soul conscious stage, but we must not think about it at this time. It's automatically always present. In this soul consciousness quality, life is very easy. Communication is very easy, mostly by thoughts. If I have the idea to go to you to make a visit, in the same moment, you catch this thought and you know he is coming. But after a very long time, the energy is going slowly down. And in the middle of the time, when Silver Age is changing into the Copper Age, we experience this very little deficiencies. Later more, then we are coming into from soul consciousness into body consciousness. And then we are under the influence of the laws of the melt. You remember, house was new, becomes old. Car was new, becomes old. And also our inner feeling and the body loses more and more energy. At least we're searching, we're trying to back home. But this concept we developed didn't function. Different concepts and beliefs and so on were not helpful. At least God is coming again and gives us this help. Reconnection. Real gold is mixed with other things, and the more we come into the vibration with the Supreme, the more this cleaning process, this purifying process is going on, and at least it's possible to become free. Now, here in this life. And if you are stabilized in your inner center, in your inner spiritual being, the outside disturbance cannot anymore influence you. This is very important in this time. As a sovereign soul, you cannot be influenced from negative energies. Rajyoga means, Raja means kingly, king, means self-sovereignty. You decide how you feel, you decide what you are doing, what you are thinking, what you are doing, what you feel. And if you are in abundance, you can be detached from desires. To be detached from desires is a sign of inner freedom. Inner freedom. In this stage, later it will be easy to go back into the soul world, in our spiritual home. It's like the lost son is coming home to his parents. The lost daughter is coming home. Thank you so much for your attention.